Welcome to 406 Broncos. My name is Mac.
And
this
I'm
is Dakota.
yes.
Yeah, you can introduce
I'm
yourself.
Dakota.
Okay. We got a lot to talk about today. We got free agency review. We're going to talk about salary cap, trade and cuts, end it off with the draft. So, I guess you just want to go into it, or did you want to say something before we get into
Well, I
it?
just want to thank everybody for allowing us back into your homes. If you're new to the program, we encourage you to bring out your Broncos gear and join us every week here on 406 Broncos.
All right.
Little Bob Ross for you.
Okay.
All right, let's hit this off. So, free agency review. We've had one full week of free agency, and not a whole lot for the Broncos. We've made moves, but nothing to get really excited about. We've got our new quarterback officially signed, Case Keenum.
Quite excited about that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I do like that.
It's wearing on me. I mean,
I know. But besides that, there has not been much movement, news, anything.
let's just a quick breakdown of everything that off the top of my head. Keenum, Tremaine Brock, cornerback, signed to a 1-year deal.
Todd Davis.
We re-signed Todd Davis 3 years, $15 million. Billy Turner, right tackle, re-signed for 1 year. How much did he sign for?
I don't
It doesn't
know.
show,
It doesn't
but
show what they.
He re-signed for 1 year, which is good. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more linemen. But that's about it. Traded Trevor Siemian, but, I mean, that's not much of a free agency move on our end. Let's talk about... Let's Keenum's the main thing I think is we want to talk about. So let's just break through real quick. What do you think about Tremaine Brock?
I don't know. What do you think? The whole 1 year is a good.
Yes.
Good. With $4 million.
First of all, can you tell me tell me about Tremaine Brock?
I don't know much about.
There
Tremaine
you go.
Brock.
That's what I'm looking for. Who's Tremaine Brock? That's going to be our third guy? I mean, obviously they think so. I mean, I can't sit here and say he's going to be bad. Who knows? He might work for our system. But who's Tremaine Brock?
But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like with a 1 year,
$4 million.
You're
You're giving the guy, $4 million. And they're talking about cutting C.J. Anderson, who's making less than that, or just a little bit more than that, if I'm not mistaken.
He must be doing really good in practice.
Yeah, because we always have good practice. But Tremaine Brock, let's wait and see. We needed to fill the spot, I guess. We still have guys on our team, but hopefully he turns out to be this magnificent being that we.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Todd Davis, what do you think of that? We
I
talked
don't
about
know.
this a little last week.
Like with all the free agencies we saw with last week, Todd Davis was on the bottom of our list. It's whatever.
We
kinda
need.
thing,
I mean,
but
we need the
I
middle
don't know.
linebacker.
Yeah, but it's. I didn't think he really proved himself that much.
To me, he had a terrible year last year.
Yeah.
He was injury prone. I mean, from what the coaches say, they like the guy. He's a good role model and whatever. But you gotta perform.
You do, and for 3 years.
I know.
For 3 years of that. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think he performed. For 3-year contract.
I'm pretty sure he was the only player on our free agency list that made the top 200 free agents.
Yeah,
And he was
that's
number
insane.
70 or something. I don't know. Billy
Like I
Turner.
said, I don't know.
Unless
I
you
have
wanted to
no
add
idea
anything else about Todd Davis.
Well, no, I don't. But I just that would not be the first guy to resign to me.
You got Alan Barber,
Yeah.
who did pretty good at the guard position.
We talked about that last week too. That's who we would want to see come back
I mean,
because he was actually one who actually performed on it.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, and there's only so much you can do with him. He didn't do so good at the tackle position, but what can you do about that?
Yeah.
He's a guard.
Yeah.
He played good on guard. And they're talking about Connor McGovern coming in and being one of the guards sit-ins. Ron O'Leary's still there. We might still draft a guy, but which I guess we can talk about Billy Turner being the right tackle. Obviously, he played in the season a little bit. We didn't notice because he went out with injury.
Yeah.
But apparently he did better than Stevenson. Which, God, how could you do that? How could you possibly play better than the great Donald Stevenson, who just signed with the Browns like a week, not long ago.
Well, that's the team he needs to go to be honest.
Right. So from the list here, what do you think? Who's worth signing? Personally, to you, Jared Crick's a rapist, so he ain't coming back.
I'm looking at it right now. I don't know. To be honest, looking at that right now, is Barber's the only one on that list that I would make a deal. If I had to, and trade one of them out, I put Barber at Davis's spot, and then Davis at the bottom of that list of signings. Obviously the money would be different, but I'm just saying, for the moves they did, I'd have Barber at second. Okay, let's get the quarterback. I'd say we keep Barber,
You got to protect the quarterback.
Yeah, you got to protect the quarterback. And then Todd Davis, I don't know. I think we can...
Like I said, linebacker, we need that, and there's no shortage of that we can't bring in, but I don't know, man. That's the guy that's going to be next to Brandon Marshall. We didn't do that great on the run stop, and the only reason we did was because of the D-line. They covered up the trenches. And Benny Fowler, I could care less if he came back.
Yeah.
I would have rather kept Cody Latimer, who we lost.
I'd have liked Latimer, but, I guess.
I thought Cody did great last year.
Yeah, we'll see. There was some good, nice, shining moments from Fowler as well, but there was a lot of drops. A lot of, actual times we needed it the most. He was not there for us.
Oh, yeah, and it was always big-time situations.
Yeah, it was horrible. So that's,
Fowler can...
He chokes when it's clutch.
Yeah, I can say bye to Fowler. We'll get into the receivers, too, because I'm getting kind of fed up. But let's talk about Case Keenum. That's the big signing. I know you're,
every day, I'm a little even more happy about
it. Okay, let me, sell me on what you're feeling. Because I'm not completely sold yet. I wouldn't say that I dislike this move. We agree that he's the second best quarterback
in the free agency. I think it's just good because he proved himself. He is, and I watched all the things after this whole season after signing him. I went back, watched some highlights of him. He is very calm and collective, and there's so many times he's got pressured, and he bounces around and he walks out of it. He's not frantic, just like Simeon is, and looks at one target that's triple covered. He is looking around, and he if he needs to move, he'll move. He'll go in the pocket if he needs to. He's very collective like that. He's very calm and collective.
He throws a dime too.
He throws very good ones. He threads the needle.
Mm-hmm. He's got an arm.
I also like the fact that he's actually very excited to be a Bronco.
That's true.
And I like that.
I like that too.
And how happy he was that John Elway was presenting him, kind of thing. So, and
I agree.
Makes me happier day by day to see that. No, I can stand behind this guy. I'm
just glad that we have a guy that we can kind of, we can wake up and be like, you know what, we got a guy. It doesn't. He's got to prove it. From just still, it's not. He's not with the Vikings. It's not going to be the same. It doesn't. It's no matter what, it's not going to be the same. It might be better. It might be worse.
Yeah.
So in time, we'll find out. We could have got worse options. I definitely believe that. We saved money. And
time we gotta give him too. If he underperforms the first games and stuff like that, we can't just wait. Oh, next one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that
kind of thing.
Well, Vance Joseph ain't gonna do that. Keenum could throw 8 picks and he'd still Vance would keep him.
At this point, I'd stand behind him on that one. Just let Keenum prove himself. Simeon, he needed to get out because he needed to focus a little better. He needed to get out of the game for a little bit because he got frantic.
But wait. Real quick. I'm going to pose this question to you again, only because I have reason I have a good reason to give you after what I hear from you. Do you still think the Broncos will draft a quarterback at number 5?
Yeah, I knew this question's coming up.
I'm just curious. And
Well,
like I said,
oh my gosh, it's 50-50 for me. Because
I have a good
know-
argument for both reasons why it could and could not happen.
Yeah, and I see that too. We discussed this too about like what we think would happen. I think we should let's why don't we save that for later once we talk about the salary cap first.
Okay.
You know that's having to come up. I mean we're talking about draft at the ending here, so you want me to give you an answer like right now and then we'll go back to that?
That's fine.
It's 50-50. I can't tell you
Because
whether or not. If
I'll
they're
wait and
going
explain
to, yeah,
like what I feel.
I can't tell you whether or not if it's going to be a QB or a lineman right now. I believe it's one of those two though. So, and I don't think it's anything else.
That's it. I'm Case Keenum. I'm Case Keenum. Give me that football. Yeah. Are we not going to pretend that Case Keenum doesn't have a neck?
Does not have. Well, he has a neck, but for some reason,
He's
once
the-
he puts a helmet on, he doesn't.
He is the necklace wonder. But you know what? I was thinking about this. Him not having a neck is great because it gives him a less chance of choking.
Oh, here you go. That's a thinker.
He's Igor. He looks like Igor, but he's our quarterback, and we're gonna live with it.
We
Moving
were
on.
making fun of him too.
Oh, it's gonna be
Before
great.
he was a
We make-
Bronco.
It's gonna be great. We make fun of our guys all the time.
I know. Salary cap.
Yes.
Salary cap. So your
okay.
thoughts
Yes.
with the Von Miller move?
Yeah. First of all, if you haven't heard, Von Miller, precious heart that he has, converted, what was it, $12 million of his salary to, or no, it was like 15. It was like $15 million of his salary to signing bonus, basically meaning he doesn't lose any money, and it frees up $12.5 million in our cap space.
Right.
Which, according to this, gives us $25.7 million still to spend.
And we haven't done anything with
That's my issue. We need to go out and get one of these receivers. There are so many good receivers. And I keep saying it. You need to have 3 good receivers. And the way injuries have been happening, it's always good to have a nice flurry of guys. We were talking about Jordan Taylor earlier. Great guy to have there. He's not
Yeah.
your number 3, though. You got to go out and get a Jeremy Maclin. You got to go get a Mike Wallace. Or just today, Alan Hearns. Alan Hearns just got released. I would love to see that. And I bet you he'd be pretty cheap.
Okay, here's the list of the receivers free agencies.
You got to spend some money. Go shopping, John. God.
Well, we were talking too that
And I get it. There's probably not, you got to get the O-line. There's probably, I don't think there's a lot of good O-linemen. The linebackers that are out there that we could be getting are asking for a lot of money. But these receivers, I know you can get one of them. John Brown, there's a good name, Or Jerron Brown. I don't know. There's guys out there. Eric Decker. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Decker had a terrible year last year. And so I would not, recommend getting him. But talk to him. Bring him in. Check, like I said, try
he
some
won't
of
be
these
the
guys
number
out.
2 anymore with us. He'd have to be the number 3.
No.
Darn.
But it's like, God, we got 20, you know what? It's only been a week. So I'm going to calm down. But we need to,
I want to see if my head
You're
fits
gonna
in
try
this.
the helmet. It looks so funny. It looks.
I'm a no quarterback.
Oh wait, I'm a receiver from the Broncos. Oops, I dropped it.
You're Benny Fowler.
God. But yeah, this free agents or this the salary cap stuff. I'm 25.7 million. That's a lot of cap space. You know, we've already. That's after re-signing anybody we re-signed. That's after all these second year things we've put on. You know, I can't think of what it's called, but the second year tenures that we've put on these guys. That's after all of that. Go out and get some help. We're good on a lot of places. All we really need: O-line, receivers, linebackers, maybe some more secondary. And we're fine.
Once they cut Crabtree, I thought for sure we were probably going to do something. And I thought for sure you'd probably want to do something because the spitefulness of the Raiders kind of thing.
But and I don't blame the Ravens for hopping on him. But Jeremy Macklin's out there. There's a lot of good, and
even like we said, like with the Jordy thing too. And then it seems like we're not even trying for any of them. I haven't seen.
You don't need all that money for draft guys.
I haven't even seen them like throw out the line for any of them though.
Yeah, it's like save. You're not signing Barber. You got all that money. Save.
I don't know.
Maybe $10 million. Not even that for your draft.
We're questioning right now, but in my head, there must be some sort of move that's going to happen here. There has to be something that happens, especially with that whole Von Miller completely scheduling up his money to give us this cap space. And
you would assume they do that in the event that they're looking at a guy that they want to sign.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's some sort of elaborate plan they did, but everything's kind of failing at the moment when they're asking for an O-lineman for C.J. Anderson. They deny it. So he keeps getting denied or, I don't know. Just things aren't happening well for asking for people, but I don't know if there's other things going on too.
Yeah. I mean, you pay to win the game. Hello? You pay to win the game. No, but seriously, they need to start spending some money. Like I said, it's only been a week, so we'll see what happens in one more week. But these receivers are finding homes. Like I said, Alan Hearns is a perfect number 3, and I bet you he comes pretty cheap.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
Trades and cuts.
Okay, we kind of talked a little about that already. But
I know, we're kind of mixing everything
that's all right.
together.
It's all right. They're talking, okay, so there's a different players that we may trade or people we may trade for. I'm seeing they're still talking about this Sua Cravens trade that they're trying to get done. No details are getting leaked, so we don't know if they're trying to trade one of our players or just draft picks. But the Redskins aren't budging on that.
Like any of them. I know that the tradable players we have is C.J. Anderson.
Which I don't like it.
I don't either.
The guy just had a 1,000-yard season.
With a crap O-line, let us tell you on that one.
Yeah. Then what? Okay, so we already lost Charles. So you get rid of C.J. Anderson. Now what? That's obvious. You're going to draft a running back in a weak running back draft class where it's just Shaquan Barkley and maybe Chubb. Like that's it. So it's going to be Booker and Carlos Henderson are going to be your.
Like that. We need that veteran. We need C.J. Anderson. He needs to be our number 1.
Whether or not we draft Shaquan Barkley or not, we need to keep C.J. Anderson. He's probably one of the most genuine players and people we have on our team. Always stood for the anthem. Do you remember when he was crying after we lost? That shows heart. That guy.
He felt like he failed the team, kind of.
He needs to stay.
His heart is in the team.
Yeah.
His heart is in Denver.
And he's only carrying like a $4 million. Like you're not freeing up anything. Like I said, the only thing that he carries is some trade value, and I get that. I get it's a business. But
you don't really have anything to replace him.
Exactly. Why try?
So why try getting rid of one of your only good guys and have no one to really back him up? And we can argue that Booker can do the job.
No, Booker's fine, but anymore it's running back by committee. Like that's the best way to do it, especially when these guys get hurt like they do.
Right, exactly. So I want to see both of them there instead of Booker having to take the ropes.
CJ's about the only one I can think of. Well, I don't think they're going to cut him. I think if they're going to get rid of him, it's going to be via trade because they'd rather keep him than cut him and not getting anything out of him. So, the Jared Crick, I can only assume is going to get cut. I can only hope is going to get cut if what's being said about him is true. You know, we've talked about whether or not these allegation stuff is tedious and could be falsified. So we'll let that play out as it is. We assume he could be cut one way or the other. Other than that, I can't. This is Darian.
Another. We're gonna cut you.
Darian Stewart.
Cut you. Okay, go ahead.
Darian Stewart. Who else? Brandon Marshall, and there was like one other who
could go.
No, they're not gonna cut him or trade him or nothing like that because their deadline just came up, so they're fully guaranteed for the season.
I just Stewart is I don't know.
I like Stu.
He's okay, but he's so slow.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a tubby boy. He's being out there, he's tubby. But
But he's scrappy and he hits like a mother.
Marshall's fine though.
Yeah.
But
Let's dive into the draft a little bit. We haven't talked about the draft at all. Let's talk about the draft. And I'm going to start.
Talk about the draft.
I'm going to start it by asking you the same question.
Again.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you what I think. And here's what I think. Based on the Case Keenum contract, it tells me there's a good chance we still might draft a quarterback. You only signed him for 2 years, which was smart because if he does bad, then you got a quick out on him.
Yeah, that's.
If you know what, if anybody should be cut, if they draft a quarterback, cut Paxton Lynch because he's owed like $2 million for sitting on the bench and crying. I'm done with it. Draft Josh Allen, draft Baker Mayfield, but if they do not, O-line, and if Saquon Barkley is available, it would not hurt my feelings if we drafted Saquon Barkley because he's a great athlete. He'd be a great addition to our offense. Thoughts?
Like I said too, it was 50-50. I believe it's either the O-line or it's going to be a quarterback. And like I said even before that, it's a 2-year deal, and we need someone underneath him. Paxton Lynch wasn't doing the job. And he's just so fragile.
Yeah,
and,
no, I'm done with the Paxton thing. I'm done. Give Chad Kelly a shot.
I think if they can get another QB in there to be able to develop a little bit more underneath Case Keenum, be able to take the ropes afterwards, kind of thing, that'd be great.
See, on the other side, here's my other argument about it. So, do you bring a guy in and pay him the kind of money that you're paying Keenum, and then draft a quarterback and get him all uneasy? Maybe not. Like, probably not. See, there's arguments for both sides that I can totally agree with. So it makes this draft really hard.
We're in a bad spot.
It's so
number 5.
Well, it's so funny. You'd think number 5, great draft spot, but it makes it so tricky, especially the teams that are in front of us, because you don't know. You just don't know.
What's the deal now? The Jets moved up.
Jets moved up. Yep, the Jets traded up to the Colts made a great deal on the whole thing. They got like 2 second-round draft picks, one this year, one next year. Their first-round draft pick swapped, and then like a 6th pick or 4 or something like that. They made out like bandits. And you gotta assume that the Jets didn't
want a QB. But
yeah,
that's so weird.
Yeah.
With the 3 they had, they just signed 2 of them.
No, they signed Josh McCown, Bridgewater, and AJ McCarron.
Yeah.
But you don't move up to number 3 and not draft a quarterback, especially when it's a quarterback-heavy draft. You're not going to move up to number 3 and not draft a quarterback. They didn't move, well, maybe they moved up to get Saquon Barkley, but I don't think so. And if you ask me, the Browns are still going to draft a quarterback. I think everybody thinks that. Who knows what they're going to do with their other pick? That's what makes me nervous. So let's just say, for instance, and the Giants, they could take a quarterback. They could take Saquon Barkley. They could take an O-lineman. And then what? So here's an example for you. Let's say the Browns take Shaquan Barkley and the Giants take Quentin Nelson. Do you take a quarterback? Or what? Or do you take Mika Fitzpatrick?
If that was the case, yes.
A quarterback?
I would take the quarterback. Because those were two other people that we'd be looking at.
Or do you trade the draft pick? Do you trade back and maybe get some more draft picks? If nobody that
Depends.
you're looking at...
We were just talking about that, weren't we?
For us,
yeah.
we weren't. But
no, I thought we were... Oh, no.
For us to trade back, do we trade back, maybe get a few more draft picks out of it, and the next guy in line is still within our grasp? This is going to be a very on edge draft.
I can't wait to watch though.
Because I just don't know what we're going to get. I just don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know. Well,
and I
think if what you just said right there, if Barkley and Nelson were taken like right in the beginning,
yeah,
I think it'd make it all the easier for what we're going to have to take.
And like I said, I'm just so wondering if whether or not they're just not going to draft a guy based on the fact they don't want to ruffle Keenum's feathers. You know,
right?
That's why they cut Tebow when they got Manning, is they didn't want Manning to feel like he had any competition. And I totally get that. It makes a lot of sense. You don't want to ruffle the new guy's feathers. You don't want to get him anxious, maybe thinking he's going to lose his job in 2 years. I get it. So, hopefully either Barkley...
Keenum, though, says he's going to have to take the shot. He's going to have to perform for his job.
Yeah,
He's got the bout, but he's got to contain it.
Yeah, I mean...
He's got to hold on to that. So, if that ruffles his feathers... Well, play all the harder then.
Yeah, I mean, I thought of a good example too, though. The Seahawks brought in Matt Flynn, drafted Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson outplayed Matt Flynn. They thought Matt Flynn was going to be the guy. Russell Wilson outplayed Matt Flynn. Look at him now. What if that scenario is for us? What if we bring in a quarterback and he just completely outperforms Keenum, and then we can trade Keenum? It kind of keeps me up at night sometimes thinking about all this possibilities that can happen.
We're in such a weird spot right now.
It's
what
so
we
bizarre.
Should do. So
But I'm glad I don't have to make the choice. I just have to live with it.
Yeah. Yeah, right. We can just scream and praise at the Broncos all we want, but it's them who's deciding.
Oh, John, please do us right. Do us right by us. We've been good.
Not do us right on Vance Joseph.
We've been good. Yeah, we need to talk about the coaches at some point, because honest to God, I don't even know half of the coaches on our team anymore, because we cut about all of them.
Is the offense coordinator gone?
No.
So Olivia's gone.
Yeah. Whoa. Well, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Woods is still there?
No. Yes, Woods. Defensive coordinator is there. Offensive coordinator still there. Well, from half the year. But all of our positions coaches are gone. And our special teams coach, which good riddance to that.
Yeah, that was bad as McKenzie gone?
Nope, because Vance Joseph is still the coach. So Isaiah McKenzie's safe on his job. Yeah, hey, there's your number 3 receiver, Isaiah McKenzie.
Oh yeah, that's gonna pan out very well.
He's lucky to be the water boy right now.
Gosh, that was so bad last year watching that. I bet you all agree on that one. Well, we should wrap it up here. We've got about a minute.
Caribbean Queen. Now we're sharing the same dream. And our hearts, they beat as one. Close it out. Close it out. That was.
Okay, well, this is...
I set you up.
Mac and Dakota in 406 Broncos. I think we discussed everything we wanted to discuss today. See ya next Tuesday I don't know what we're going to talk about though.
But the Facebook, tell them about the Facebook.
Yeah, no, yeah, like it.
Like the Facebook, share the video,
and YouTube.
And we'll have the podcast channel coming up soon too.
Yeah, we said that, and it's not up yet.
We're kind of
but whatever.
procrastinating.
Yeah, Okay, we'll see you later. God